Hey man, what it is, this is Deem and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to Cash App, $ Deem by any means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. Y'all see that heart with the $? That is the super chat. You could press that at any time your heart desires. Please say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. Yo, the app acting crazy. It's hard to cam up. Every time I cam up, it'd be skipping and doing all that. So I had to re-record this. But let's get straight to it. Jim Jones is out of his cotton picking mind if he think he's even close to Nasir Jones. Let's talk about it. Shannon Sharpe exposed Jim Jones last night, and I'm so happy that he did because Jim Jones deserved it. And he stood on business when Fat Joe and Jadakiss, who is one of my favorite rappers, didn't. For Jim Jones to say he is anything close to Nas is just laughable, and it should be a crime. He should be charged by the New York State immediately. It should be Jim Jones versus New York State just for him even saying something that's stupid. Hey, yo, I just want you to understand, if y'all want to know why the world is where the world is at today, if you want to know why the world is so messed up, because people are actually not good people. People are actually very, very delusional. You got people like Jim Jones that think he's better than Nas. He's mad that people don't see that he's as big as Nas is because you're not. That's why people don't see that. It's because you're not. Jim Jones, hate to break it to you, my guy, you weren't even the best person in your group. You don't have a better album than Cameron's first album or Purple Haze. At your best, at your best. You got one song. I'll give Jim Jones two songs. You got Somewhere in Miami and Ballin' for real. And maybe Dipset Music if you want to put that out there as well. Jim Jones, you are trash, bro. Who told you was good? Who told you was somebody we held on a pedestal and we think you pop? Hey, y'all, before y'all say, Dean, you going too crazy, let me ask you this. Have you ever, if you listening to this, I don't care what state, city you from, have you ever heard somebody jump in the wheel and say, hey, yo, bro, put on that Jim Jones? Hey, yo, sis, put on that Jim Jones? Never. And we're going to break down the lies. So then Jim Jones come out here and say, oh, yeah, Nas only had that one great album, and that was Illmatic. Hey, this is where you know people is hater and just super delusional. Hey, Jim Jones, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but Nas' biggest songs weren't on his first album. Every one of Nas's biggest songs came after his first album. Homie. Oh, I'm lying? Hate Me Now. That was after Illmatic. What about his actual, one of his biggest songs, If I Ruled the World? Y'all remember that, y'all? You remember how If I Ruled the World was getting played at every block party, cookout, family event that we had when we was kids, or you was a teenager, or you was a young adult, whatever you was at that stage in life. Jim Jones has never had a song that went as viral, If I Ruled the World. Jim Jones don't got one song better than Hate Me Now and If I Ruled the World. Hey, Jim Jones, you want to know one of his other biggest songs you ever heard? You compared him to Jay-Z and say, oh, yeah, we always had him behind. No, we didn't always have him behind Jay-Z. What are you talking about? But a lot of people have him above Jay-Z. Most people have him above Jay-Z. What are you talking about? He's literally the person you are speaking of, Jim Jones. Nas' other one of his biggest songs is a diss track. They Not Like Us is a diss track of all time. Wouldn't you agree? And that ain't as viral as Ether was back then when the internet wasn't pop. Could y'all imagine if Ether dropped? You take us back then and we had social media when Ether dropped? Jay-Z might not have a career no more after that. Jay-Z is lucky social media wasn't popping and all that when that song dropped. Oh yeah, Jim Jones, that wasn't on Illmatic either. Oh, y'all really about to be blown away with this one. Have y'all ever heard of a song that Nas made called One Mic? Can you name me a Jim Jones song that is that impactful? Can you name me one Jim Jones song that you would even take serious comparing it to that? Oh, Jim Jones, that was after Illmatic too, brother. Oh, I got another song for y'all. When day comes and night falls, for the rest of our life we miss y'all. Oh, my guy. That was after Illmatic, sir. Jim Jones is literally delusional, fam. Literally delusional. What about one of his other biggest songs, Daughters? Do you got a more positive, impactful song than Daughters, bro? He made that in his 40s. See, Jim Jones talking about like he's from a different era. Jim Jones, you are 3 years younger than Nas. You are a 8-year-old out here trying to gangbang, sir. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are a pop-pop out here trying to gangbang. He talking about, yeah, when we was young. Yeah, when Nas was young, you was young. When you was young, Nas was young too, Jim Jones. You just mad he got on at 17, 18 because he was so good. You weren't even heard of, and he had already put out the album that you are talking about, sir. Yo, I want y'all to know, see, I don't get on rappers about their age. I don't care how old you is when you get on and all that. But what you can't do is take credit away from a guy before Ballin' came out, before Summer in Miami came out, my guy Nas had already been rapping 15, 16, 17 years by that point, fam. And y'all only 3 years apart, just to let y'all know how delusional Jim Jones is. You're not even the best person in Dipset, fam. Nobody considered you better than Joel Santana or Cameron. Stop it, bro. Jim Jones, you aren't the most relevant person in Harlem, fam. You're not better than A$AP Rocky. You're not better than Big L. You're not better than Cameron. You're not better than Jewels. You're not better than Mace. You're not better than Dave East. What are you talking about, fam? What world you live in? Y'all, this is why the world is messed up. This is why people like Jim Jones be 48-year-old pop-pops trying to gangbang. You're delusional, fam. You're not better than Styles P. Yo, I got another person for y'all that Jim Jones, your homie, the person you hang with a lot, Fabulous. You're not better than him. You comparing yourself to Fabulous is laughable. Also a person who was popping way before you as well. And I think you're older than Fabulous, fam. Fabulous wouldn't say he's better than Nas. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is why the world is messed up, because we live with people. We are literally around people that really think that, and it's just Jim Jones' mindset. I'm just speaking on delusion at its finest. Jim Jones, you aren't the most relevant person in New York. Nobody has ever said that Jim Jones is in a top 5, top 10 rappers. Just off of that alone, we should end this conversation. Like, that's why. It's a fact, bro. It is a fact that Nas is considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. You aren't. That is facts, bro. That is not an opinion. Nobody has Jim Jones in a top 50 rappers ever, fam. Nobody. You can't go find 100 people in Harlem that think you better than Nas, fam. You can't go find 100 people better than... Yo, I'll be in New York. I've been in New York, and I've been in Harlem, on Sugar Hill, all of that, fam. I ain't never heard nobody playing your song when I was in Harlem, ever. Like Unc say, I swear to God on my mama. I swear to God on my mama. I ain't never heard nobody. I ain't never heard Jim Jones when I was in New York. Not one time. What are you talking about, family? Jim Jones, you aren't bigger than Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj is not on Nas. Like, what are you talking about, brother? Are you okay? You need to go seek some professional help, because you're a 48-year-old gangbanging and you think you better than Nas. It's just like it has to be a mental illness. It has to be. Yeah, I wasn't banging with Nas like that after Belly. Hey, y'all, did y'all know Nas's Light came out after Belly? Oh, a lot of them songs that I named, that was all after Belly as well. Jim Jones is living in his second childhood, and Nas rapped about that. Nas got a song that perfectly describes Jim Jones' family. Hey, y'all, I want y'all to understand that Nas just won album of the year at the Grammys like 2 years ago. But somehow Jim Jones is bigger than Nas, trying to act like you don't have an album better than King, none of the King diseases. You ain't got an album better than none of the Magics, and he made all of that recently. Hey, y'all, Nas' Life is Good album. Go back and listen to that. That's an album that people didn't really like. I Am, that's another album that people claim they didn't really like. Please go back and listen to those albums, and you will tell yourself, I was being a little too harsh on Nas, but where I'm going with this is those two albums alone, Jim Jones ain't got an album better than that. Swear to God on my mama. Jim Jones ain't got an album better than that one. You are delusional, fam, and it's the utmost disrespect, bro. We can get to 50 New York artists before we get to you. You're not better than the people in Mobb Deep. You're not bigger than Mobb Deep. Rest in peace, the Prodigy. What are you talking about bigger? Because bigger means that if Nas books a show and you book a show, more people are going to go to, bro, nobody's going to your show today in 2025. Nobody is going to be, it's not going to be more people at a Jim Jones show than to be at a Nas show. How are you bigger than him? You know we can literally prove this. Hey, y'all, go to your Spotify, go to your Apple, y'all, and go see who got more monthly listeners. Jim Jones is not even cracking 1 million monthly listeners now. They put Nas stats out. Nas got like 32 million monthly listeners, and you know that that's true. This planet got 8 billion people. Nas is a great rapper. We all know that. So I can believe that 32 million people is listening to him on a daily basis. That's highly believable. Yeah, we wasn't rocking with Nas after Belly. Hey, y'all, I want you to understand that Stillmatic came out after Belly. Just to show you how much that's a lie. That's the Stillmatic is what Got Yourself a Gun, Ether, and all of that is on. One mic. This is how much of a liar this man is. Who wasn't rocking with Nas? You can't say New York wasn't. You are from New York and you saying you wasn't rocking with Nas after Belly. Who cares if he was? Who are you, Jim Jones? After Belly, you wasn't even out yet. Like, yo, I want you to understand how delusional this man is. After Belly, you wasn't even out yet, fam. Nobody puts Reasonable Doubt over Illmatic. Jay-Z wasn't a bigger artist than Nas before Belly came out. What are you talking about? Yeah, DMX and Jay was over Nas. No, maybe DMX at that point in time, but you couldn't say Jay. What? What are you talking about? You serious? Fake thugs, no love. You get the slug. See before gusto. Your luck low. I didn't know, but I was drunk though. What are you talking about, brother? You are delusional at its finest. You are like absolute. Nas had an album that was critically acclaimed called Hip Hop is Dead that caused the whole controversy. That was in 09, 2010, fam. What are you talking about? Your two biggest songs is Summer in Miami, Dipset Music, and Ballin', brother. To put any of your songs up against One Mic is laughable. To put any of your songs up against Life We Chose is laughable. Hate Me Now, Uchi Wild. Like, brother, you ain't got an album better than the Disciples album. Y'all forget Nas was with The Firm. You ain't got an album better than The Firm. Bro, the Dipset album's not better. Like, bro, listen here, brother. You ain't that, brother. You're not even more popular than people you be around. Nobody's going to a Jim Jones show before we go to a Fabulous show, fam. You live in delusional, and this is why the world is where it is. Because people like Jim Jones, that's 48-year-old gangbanger pops that think that they are bigger than Nas, bro. Bro, you got to get through 50 other MCs just from New York before we get to you and Nas, fam. Have y'all ever heard any rapper? Have you ever name me the rapper that got a song called "Let Jim Jones Down"? Nas literally has influenced people to this day. Nas has literally influenced the two guys that we consider to be the best rappers in the game currently, and J. Cole and Kendrick. What are you talking about? Go ask Kendrick and J. Cole, who do they think is the better artist? The younger generation don't agree with you, fam. 21 Savage. 21 Savage was saying the same stuff you said. Then he recanted all that, got on the track with Nas, and got bodied by Nas. That's one of Nas' best verses with him and 21 Savage. And everybody who heard that song ain't lying. It was so good that 21 Savage had to say, man, listen, oh, he ain't really like that. I got to take back everything I said. Didn't A$AP Ferg and Nas have a summertime banger and Spicy like 2 years ago? Hop out, you know what, son, when the doors lift, whole squad got the burner. Nets had to decide. Like, what are you talking about, brother? Jim Jones thinks he's bigger than Nas. If that's not delusion, that's like a 600-pound woman thinks she the baddest woman on earth. You could think whatever you want to think, brother. It doesn't make you right. You bigger than Nas. Jim Jones, you ain't bigger than Nas now. Today, you're not bigger than Nas. If Nas puts out an album today, and first of all, bro, we got proof of this. Name me an album you got recently that has sold more than King Disease. Any of the King diseases, any of the three. Name me an album that you have that has sold more than any of the King diseases recently, your recent albums. You can't. Jim Jones, you don't have an album better than any of the Magics that Nas recently put out, brother. I hate to break it to you, bro. You are not that, sir. You are not that. Like, it's such a wide gap. It's the same. It's as wide of a gap as a blue whale. Just the fact that you said you bigger than Nas, good brother, we could prove that today. And I'm asking anybody listening to this, go check Nas ticket sales for touring. Go check the arenas that Nas is booking, and then you go check what Jim Jones is doing. And then you come back and holler at me and tell me that Jim Jones in 2025 is bigger than Nas. Jim, you're only relevant right now because you spoke on the man, because it went so viral, because you are so delusional that you got Shannon Sharpe up there exposing you. And I'm glad Shannon did what Jadakiss and Fabulous and Jadakiss and Fat Joe didn't want to do. Yo, he got cooked so bad, he started talking about working out with Shannon Sharpe. Lord have mercy. Jim Jones, your legs is the size of pencils and Bluntville's, my guy. Your legs are the size of Bluntville's. What are you talking about, sir? Now you gonna go lift with Shannon Sharpe. Okay. This man is on a different level of delusion. But you know that because he's almost 50 years old, still screaming blood, putting a B around his eye. Bro, if you don't go be with your grandkids, fam, and stop playing, if you do not go be with your grandkids and stop playing, sir, better than Nas. Laughable. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Deem by any means. And I holler at y'all.